Good day, everyone. Today is the 7th of April, and the time is exactly 6 p.m. So I have to attend this meeting. And before we proceed with our discussion for today, may I ask Ms. Resurreccion to please lead the prayer.
Let us bow our head and feel the presence of the Lord. Dear Lord and Father of all, thank you for today. Thank you for ways in which you provide for us all. For your protection and love, we thank you. Help us to focus our hearts and minds now on what we are about to learn. Inspire us by your Holy Spirit as we listen and write. Guide us by your eternal light as we discover more about the world around us. We ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Resurrection. So again, good day, everyone. I am Joper Gold Rodriguez, or you can call me Mr. Rodriguez, and I will be your teacher for today's class. So am I being heard loud and clear?
Yes po.
Yes po, sir.
So okay, if that's so, let's proceed with the next slides. And before I discuss our lesson for today, let's have a pre-activity. Miss and Pedro, will you please read the following sentences?
May I ask a question? Could I sit here? View a hand. Can you help me lift these bags?
Okay, now Miss Resurrection, what did you notice about the following sentences?
Sir, I think these sentences are either asking for permission or making a request.
Very good, Miss Resurrection. So now, what can you say about the highlighted, not underlined, highlighted words, Miss San Pedro? What kind of verbs are they?
Sir, I think they are modal verbs.
Oh, very good observation. Now you have an idea on what are we going to discuss for today. So our lesson for today is about permission, request, and offers. So will you please read the objectives, Miss San Pedro?
Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to 1. Define permission requests. 2. Determine the difference between permissions, requests, and offers. 3. Determine the usages of modal verbs in asking permissions, making requests, and making offers. 4. Learn on how to ask permissions, make requests, and making offers.
So let us proceed with our discussion proper. Now, what is permission? So permission is defined as a consent or authorization. So it is something that we ask when we are seeking for approval. So going forward to requests, it is defined as an act of asking politely or formally for something. Next is offer. Offer is an expression of readiness to do or give something if desired. So it is something that we do willingly. It is something that we make or give or do for a certain person. Moving on, what are modal verbs? So modal verb is an auxiliary verb that expresses necessity or possibility. So this include must, shall, will, should, would, can, could, may, and might. Moving on to our discussion to the first part. This is permission. So here is the rule of for the modals of permission: can, could, and may. So the modal can, could, and may is followed by the subject pronoun I, then the verb. So let's have some example. Can you please read the sample sentence, Miss San Pedro?
Can I have some cookies?
So thank you, Ms. San Pedro. Now this sentence is applicable to the other models such as could and may. So could I have some cookies, or may I have some cookies? So I use can to emphasize that it is the most commonly used modal in this case. So take note that can is the least formal of these verbs. So this is applicable when you are talking to a friend or a family member. Another example is the modal would or could. Oh, I'm so sorry. The modal could. So in here, could followed by the subject pronoun I, then the verb. So could I have your attention, sir? Well, this sentence is also applicable to the other modal can or may I have your attention, sir, or can I have your attention, sir? But to establish the difference between could, may, and can, I use could because could is a little more polite than can. So it is used when talking to someone in authority, a teacher perhaps, like in this situation. Could I have your attention, sir? Now, if you want to sound formal, you may use the modal may. Now, please read the next sample sentence, Ms. Resurreccion.
May I have a glass of water?
So, may I have a glass of water? Like the rule here. So take note that may is similar to could, but it is even more polite. So it is the most formal form of the. It is the most formal modal in the modal of formation. So it is not commonly used here in the Philippines, and it is not often used in the U.S. English, but it is common in the United Kingdom, or when we see British people talking to each other, we hear a lot of this word may. Yeah. So for our recap, for model of permission, from informal to formal. Can is like what I said earlier, very common. Like when you are asking your mother to if you can have some cookies, like in the example earlier. So could, on the other hand, is somewhat neutral. It is polite, but it is not so formal. Like asking your teacher, could I have your attention, sir? So if then moving on to may, if you want to sound old and formal, you may use may. Like in our example earlier, may I have a glass of water? Um, do you understand, guys, the modals of permission? Any reactions or any questions?
Understood po, sir.
No question po.
Yeah, so you understand. Now let's move on to the modals of request. So in here we have four. I think this one will mess with your heads a little bit at first, but I think as you read and understand the rules, I'm sure that you'll get it. So we have two rules. The modal can and could is applicable to the pronoun you and I, then followed by the verb. Then the second rule is will and would. It is only applicable to the subject pronoun you, and we will see in the examples why. So in the first example, can you please read the sample sentence, Mr. Pedro?
Can you help me carry my bags?
Thank you, Ms. San Pedro. So in here, can is followed by the subject pronoun you, then the verb. So can you help me carry my bags? So can is very common in this case. So we have another example for the modal can. Can I borrow your map? So the difference here is that we change this subject pronoun to I. So we established the sentence the sentence here, can I borrow your map? So moving on to the next sample sentence for the modal could this time. So can you please read the sample sentence, Ms. Resurreccion?
Could you tell me when the bus will arrive?
So thank you, Ms. Resurreccion. So in here, could is applicable to you and I. So we will see in the next example. So in here, could I see your ticket? So can and could is applicable to both subject pronoun I and you, then followed by the verb. So could is a little more polite than can, so like what we said earlier. So another thing that we can learn here is why will and would is different from can and could. Why they are only exclusive for the subject pronoun you. So will you carry this for me? So do you think that the sentence sounds right if I say, will I carry this for me? Miss and Pedro, do you think it is right?
Yes po, sir.
Do you think if we change you to I, do you think it is right?
No.
Yeah, yes. So it is not right. It is grammatically incorrect. So in here, will you carry this for me? So will, then followed by the what do you call this? The subject pronoun you, then the verb. Then moving on to would. So would you show me where the bus station is? It is the same with the same rule with the modal will. It only accepts the subject pronoun you. Like in this example, would you show me where the bus station is? So Miss Resurrection, do you think if I say, will I show me where the bus station is, do you think it is correct? Miss Resurrection? Do you think it is
No, sir.
correct?
I think it would be wrong.
Yeah. It is grammatically incorrect. So moving on, we have a bonus example. So can and will are, what do you call this? Can and will are for what do you call this? For informal settings, and can and could and would are for more polite manner if you want uh, to make a request in a much polite way. So moving on to our bonus example, would you mind plus the verb in the ing form. So please read the next example, Miss and Pedro, the sample sentence.
Would you mind telling me which bus is going to Manila?
All right. So in here, would you mind it is like will you please tell me, just like that, but it is much formal. So would you mind is even more formal than would. It is commonly used in the UK and not commonly heard in US English. So another example is would you mind teaching me how to do this activity? So the rule is after this, would you mind, the following word should be a verb in the ing form. So Let's have a Eureka for the modal of request. From informal to formal. So can and will are very common, like asking a friend, can you help me carry my bags? Or will you carry this for me? Then this one is could and would. They are much more polite, but they are not so formal. So like, could you tell me when the bus will arrive? And another example for would is, would you show me where the bus station is? Now, if you want to sound posh and formal, you may use would you mind. If you want to sound like the people in Bridgerton or in The Crown, like in our example earlier, would you mind telling me which bus is going to Manila? That is very formal. Would you mind? So, understood, class? Any reactions, any questions so far?
Understood po,
None po.
sir.
Okay, thank you very much that you understand the modals of requests. So let us move to the last part of our session for today. So offers. So here are the rules for the modals of offers. So in here we have 5, and we have 5. Can, could, may, shall, and will. So can, could, may, and shall, the modals can, could, may, and shall, is applicable to this subject pronoun I, because I think that I think that offers need to be given by us. We are the what do you call this? We are the giver of we offer the help. So I think that I is the most acceptable subject pronoun, then followed by the verb. Then in the rule for will is somewhat different. The sentence structure, the word order is changed. So the subject pronoun I will come first, then the modal will, then the verb. So let's have some examples. So in here, I have for the can, could, and may, what do you call this? I simplified it in one sentence. So, can I help you? Could I help you? And may I help you? These 3 are examples of offering help. So the only thing that is different with these 3 is how formal they ask. So as we established earlier, can is the least formal. Could is a little bit polite than can, but not too formal. Then may is similar to could, but it is even more polite. Moving on to the next example, will you please read Miss Resurreccion?
Those bags looks heavy. Shall I carry it for you?
So for the modal shall, it is followed by the subject pronoun I, then followed by the verb. Let us take note that shall is used to find out if someone thinks a certain suggestion is a good idea. Like for example, I see that those bags looks heavy. Then you ask the person, shall I carry it for you? So it is a good suggestion. It is a good idea. So, however, shall is not often used in US English. It is, I think it tends to be, what do you call this? We tend to think of English people when we when we use shall. Like we hear it in the British accent. So like, shall I carry it for you? Like that. So moving on for the last sample sentence for the modal will. Would you please read the last sample sentence, Mr. Pedro?
I will carry those for you.
Now, will. Now, will is used in making direct offers. So the word orders goes like this. So the subject pronoun I followed by will, then the verb, the rest of the sentence. So um, when we offer direct offer, the we are offering direct offers. So we are not asking questions. Like in this examples, shall I carry for you? There is a question mark at the end. But in here, it is a direct sentence. It is a direct offer. So let us move on to our recap for the models of offer. So we have 5: can, will, could, and may and shall. So from informal to formal. So can and will are very common, like asking your friends um, if like in our example, can I help you with that? Or the other example, will I will carry those for you, from our last example here. I will carry those for you. Those modal can and will are very informal and are applicable to informal settings. So could is more polite, but it is somewhat neutral. So the examples we use are could I help you with that? So it is used for someone with a higher or older rank, or higher position, or older age than you. So it is polite than can and will. So moving on to may, it is formal and more proper sounding. Like in the example, may I help you? Then lastly, and not the least, shall. It is not typically used unless you are from the United Kingdom. So it sounds very posh and royal-like. Like in our example earlier, shall I carry it for you? So that is the discussion for today. Have you understood the topic?
Yes po.
Do you have any questions or any reactions? Any inquiries?
None
None
po,
so
sir.
far po.
So, okay, if that's so, let's have a short exercise. So, in here, you need to determine if the following sentences are asking for permission, making a request, or making requests and offers. Do you understand the directions,
Yes po.
students?
Yes po.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? So we'll check your answers after 5 minutes. Just write the first letter of your answer. Like for example, P for permission, O for offers, and R for requests. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So let's start now. The timer starts now. You have 5 minutes. Hello, class. Are you done?
Yes
po.
po, sir.
Okay, let's proceed with checking your exercise. So for the first for the first question, may I go to the bathroom? Miss San Pedro, what is your answer?
P po.
P for permission. Is it correct? Yes. Is it correct? It is correct. So you are right. The answer for number 1 is P. For number 2 is O, offer. I will give you a lift home. For number 3, could you open the door for me? What is your answer, Ms. Resurreccion?
R po.
R, it stands for request. Oh, and you are right. It is a request. Could you open the door for me? Shall I help? Miss San Pedro, what's your answer for number 4?
O po. Offer.
Is it correct? It is. It is correct. Shall I help is an offer. So for number 5, can you do me a favor? The answer for this is R, request. Number 6, can I leave now? Miss San Pedro, what's your answer? Number 6?
P po. Permission.
Right, it's P, permission. How about number 7, Mr. Resurreccion? Could you give me a hand? What's your answer? Could you give me a hand?
R po.
Request. Yes, it's right. So for number 9, would you carry this for number 8, I'm so sorry. Can I ask you a question? It is a permission. Number 9, would you carry this for me? Is a request. And lastly, number 10, I'll carry your bag. I will carry your bag. It is an offer. So I think both of you got very nice score, high scores. Am I right?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
Yeah, very, very nice. So I think that is all for today. I do have an assignment for you guys. So here is the direction. Construct 3 sentences asking for permission, making requests, and making offers. So do you understand the assignment, students?
Yes po.
All right. So you may create a Word document and pass them to our team. So that will be all for today. Thank you very much for attending this session. And may the Lord bless us in everything that we do. Goodbye, class. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you po,
Thank you
sir.
po.
Thank you. Bye-bye.